One of the most difficult parts of selecting a new ERP system is figuring out how much it's going to cost the company. Sure, you get your price from the software vendor, but what does that really mean? Often software vendors will attempt to hook you in by hiding costs, and even more costs, until what you thought might be a great deal turns out to be an 800-pound gorilla in the room, and he has his hands on your checkbook. A 2010 study by a Denver-based ERP consulting firm revealed one of the biggest reasons an implementation can fail is cost. The darn thing turned into a seemingly bottomless money pit. When the project runs over budget, a company can either cut bait and write off the implementation as a failure, or suck it up and throw even more money at it until the system is declared live. But budgeting for an ERP system isn't simply a matter of setting enough aside for the implementation. It's also about the ongoing costs in the calendar year. Yes, it may look good to the execs when you have a dollar sign next to your predicted IT costs, but what happens if your company unexpectedly grows and you need to buy more users? And how much is a concurrent user? Or is that actually a power user? And will I have to pay more in annual maintenance now that I have more users? And what if the vendor raises annual fees? Charge me for documentation? Are you kidding? An ERP investment isn't a simple purchase. It is an ongoing partnership between the customer and vendor that develops over the years. But it is possible to get everything you need, the software, the hardware, the support, the services, all for one predictable low monthly price. While the burden of paying for an ERP system falls on the customer, there are certain things an ERP software vendor can do to make it much easier for their customer, and it begins with the words free and unlimited. Software companies can and are licensing their ERP with free support and unlimited users. Wouldn't it be so much easier to budget for your annual ERP bill when there are no unpredictable costs to worry about? Free and unlimited licensing includes things like free upgrades, free bug fixes, free source code, and unlimited rights to any and all documentation, all of which most vendors would tack on a charge, chewing into your checkbook. A clear and clean line of sight into your budget also means providing all of the, and only the, modules you need to run your business. A fixed price package approach can't leave anything behind. It must deliver all of the features and functions, or really what good is it to have a fixed price when you need to buy more software in order to use the other software? Remember that 2010 study we talked about? The one that said a major reason why an implementation could fail is cost? These failures are the result of the implementation dragging on and on, with days turning into weeks, turning into months, and turning into years. It's like these companies jumped right in without any sort of plan, and when things got bogged down, costs started to creep up. An implementation requires a company, with the help of their vendor, to formulate a detailed project plan and stick to it. This is your roadmap for the project that identifies activities, responsibilities, deadlines, and milestones. The roadmap also identifies how many days, your implementation will take. Therefore, it is possible to quantify how much you'll spend on your implementation. It is possible to get a total realistic cost if you have a developed plan and are ruthless about not changing it. So an ERP project doesn't have to be a blank check to your vendor of choice. You can get everything you need for one upfront price. It starts with the vendor giving you a license with everything you need to run your business. No user counts, no annual fee, no extra surprise charges. Just these modules, with this many days to implement them, running on this piece of hardware, all for this bottom line, out-the-door price. We know it can be done, because we've been doing software your way for almost 40 years.